Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between. Hope you guys are just having a fantastic day. I gotta tell you, some days are better than others, and that is just all there is to it. Oh, hey, now I have volume. Okay. So, we're being broadcast live tonight, of course, on Truth Frequency Radio, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live, and also on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. No matter how you are listening, make sure you stop and say hello in one of the chat rooms. Or you can always send me an email at wildepaisley@gmail.com, and that's WILDEPAISLEY @gmail.com. And if you want to see what's going on in my world outside of here, you can always check out the website. That's www.paisleywild.com. If you want to just support my radio habit without buying anything from the storefront on the website, or if you can find Monarch Mountain Studios on Etsy, you can do that too. You can always just do the cash tag, and that is $TheSpacesBetween. Yesterday, it would have been spent on adult beverages. Yesterday was rough. And as long as you're doing research and checking stuff out and writing things down, check out iLife.com. iLife is the official sponsor for Truth Frequency Radio. iLife combines the best high-quality ayahuasca without the psychoactive properties with some high-quality CBD to help support that which ails you. So check it out, iLife.com. If you decide to purchase after research, if you use TFR Live, or TFR. Oh, goodness. Let me double check. TFR. You'll get $5 off. Coupons are awesome. So, yes. Anyways, I see the chat rooms are off quiet. That's what happens when you're not on. October has been just brutal to my YouTube. Actually, just... Okay, so here's the dealio. My birthday's in October. I love fall. This is my favoriteest month in the entire year. Absolutely 100%, hands down, favoriteest month. Love fall. Love fall, love October, everything about it. Except for this year. Apparently we're doing 2021 Bingo Blackout in October. Yeah. So, first of the month, Mini-Me had COVID, and then because I have taught her how to share, she gave me COVID, and we both had the Delta variant. And of course, I did not. Well, I did eventually, but I had it about 2 weeks longer than she did. So yeah, I had 2 weeks. So much of October has passed, and I don't even know where it went because I was sick, and I really truly have no idea where it went because I was sick. Most of October has been kind of a blur. And my sciatic nerve has been flaring up, so I'm on painkillers also. So what hasn't been a blur from COVID has been a kind of fuzzy due to painkillers. I don't have candles going. They're upstairs on the kitchen table. Mini-Me still... So Julia gave me candles for my birthday. They're awesome. They're on a remote. And they're actually really fantastic. I should have... My plan was to bring them down. I was distracted by coffee. Sorry. But anyways, no, they're awesome. I need to bring them down and put them in the studio. Because, yeah, I need all the light. Sort of. I need the nice light. The computers are okay, but the lights that are in here are kind of... Well, they don't do much for the skin, and I decided not to wear makeup today because I don't care. So, no makeup Saturday. Yep. I'm in my pajamas, my bathrobe. I got my fuzzy hat on. Yeah. It brutal weekend. I'll get into it in a minute. I promise. So, yeah. October's just been kind of hard. So, been kind of fuzzy, and not really tuned in to the passage of days. I don't know where the leaves went. I don't know why it's so cold. don't. Did you know it's November here? Like or it's Halloween, like a week from tomorrow. When did that happen? It's serious. I have no idea where this month has gone. To give you an example, a snapshot in this witch's life, we're going to use yesterday as an example, and it sums up everything that has been wrong with October this year, everything that's gone sideways. I spent today cleaning and cleansing because, yes, I'm not done cleaning. There will be more cleaning tomorrow, and then there'll probably be some more cleansing Monday or Tuesday as I get things all buttoned up and cleaned up because, yeah, it's a multi-stage WTF. So, Friday. So, Mini-Me, we're going to start on Wednesday. Oh, Julia, go eat. So, Wednesday, Mini-Me, starving, she asked for macaroni and cheese. Okay, so she got macaroni and cheese. Afterwards, she wasn't feeling very good, but at the same time, but she ate a lot. Because when she's hungry, she decided she eats like a teenage boy sometimes. So, Wednesday night, she mentioned her tummy was a little sore, and I said, do you feel like you need a puke sore? Or just like you need to drink some water sore? And she says, oh, I think I just need water. So she went and got a drink of water. She snuggled up, fell asleep. I cuddled for a little bit, tucked her into bed. I am almost asleep. Mini-Me is not. She gets up, she gets to the hallway where there's carpet, and proceeds to empty her stomach. And all over the carpet, of course. And gets in the bathroom, and finally, yeah. So, she get her cleaned up, get the hallway cleaned up. She's tucked back into bed, and I had help, so I'm not the only one doing this, fortunately. And get her tucked in. She's got a bucket, and she's kind of goes back to sleep. And like I said, everything gets cleaned up, and go back to bed, and deep cleansing breath, and I'm almost asleep again. And guess what? She gets sick again, but this time she gets it in the bucket. 2 thumbs way up for, her targeting system, because yeah, it was, yes. And so from there, she goes back to sleep, and she's okay. She gets to sleep. She's sleeping fine. She sleeps all night. Keep her home from school Thursday because she's sick. She doesn't need to go to school. Apparently she had food poisoning. I'm not sure how. Hi, Elaine. Or what from, because I had the same thing for dinner that she did, and when she had extra and didn't get it quite all gone, she fed it to the dog. Dog was fine. So yeah, don't know what happened. Just no clue. And anyways, kept her home just in case. Be safe, right? No reason to send a sick kid to school right now. Absolutely zero reason. So Thursday, go to bed at a decent time. I read a little bit to decompress, but I'm uncomfortable because my sciatic is all out of control. It's awesome. And it takes me forever to go to sleep. I finally go to sleep. Dog wakes me up. Gotta go potty. So I let her out, come back in, fall asleep in the recliner, sleep there for about 4 hours. My daughter wakes me up because she's going to go to school, right? Yeah, after the bus has left. It's like, great. So Friday morning, I slept in after not getting enough sleep anyways, and the child type misses the bus. But I'm like, no big deal. I have a doctor appointment. It'll be good. I'll just drop her off, and then I'll go to my doctor appointment. So that's what I figured I'd do. So we take our time, we have breakfast, and we get ready to go. She's going to be late to school, but, I don't care. I'm a bad mom maybe for that, but I don't really care. Anyways, as we're going into town, I have like power cycling or power surges in my car. I'm like, okay, so that needs to get checked out. And I figure, well, while I'm sitting at the doctor's office waiting for my turn, I'll contact the mechanic and see if we can get it checked out, find out what's going on, right? Because I've got indicators happening on the dash, because new cars often just have idiot lights. But the battery looked fine. I have a gauge for my battery. That looked fine, but I had the idiot lights, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. So I drop her off, and it's like, I haven't checked the mail in a while. let me check the mail. So I check the mail. As I'm pulling into the post office, right? Power surges happen again, and this time, power steering quits as I'm pulling into a space. Well, you know what? Farm kid, I can drive without power steering. Do I want to? No, but I know what it feels like. So I'm like, well, shoot, that kind of sucks. Not even thinking about it. I park in my spot, turn the car off, go inside, check the mail, talk to the postmaster. Small community. She's a little gal. I mean, she's probably about 2 days from retirement. Old gal, but she's awesome. Anyways, check my mail, get in the car. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm just checking my mail, and I put my seatbelt on because I'm a safe person. And I go to start the car, and I go, argh. I'm like, what the heck is this? No, turn it off, turn it back on. And I'm like, well, great. And so, when this happens, a gentleman pulls into the parking lot, and he comes back out of the post office. He's like, hey, is this? And I've got the hood popped up, and I'm like, is there anything I can help with? I said, well, I just decided it doesn't want to start right now. He says, well, do you have jumper cables? He's like, nope, not right now, because I don't have them in the car. And he's like, well, I live a block away. I'll go get them and come back. I'm like, all right, cool. This is awesome. And I'll get jumped, and I'll get to my doctor appointment. No big deal. I've got 45 minutes to get my doctor appointment, right? Yeah, so he shows up, and he hooks it up because it's a new car, of course. You're not supposed to go directly to the battery. You're supposed to the little nodes or whatever they have in the car. And so connect it up, and hey, no big deal, right? I try to start it, it just goes click. I'm like, well, that sucks. So I wait just a little bit longer. He moves the cables, he pops the cowling off and sticks it to the battery. I'm like, all right, cool. Car starts right up. No big deal. He's like, all right, there you go. We close the hoods. And he's like, just drive straight home and don't turn it off. I'm like, I can do that. Actually, I was going to drive to the mechanic, but I said, yeah, cool, thanks. Have a good day, sir. And awesome. He was awesome. And he leaves because I'm making phone calls. I'm letting people know that I'm running a little late and that I was having some car problems because I'm trying to communicate with my family and all that. Go to put the car into gear, and hey, guess what? It won't go into gear. Power cycles. All the dash lights turn off, and it won't go into gear, it's an automatic, and I know a lot of people love an automatic, but personally, I prefer stick shift because I hate this kind of a thing. Just give me a stick shift. I don't need all the high tech. I love the tech, but I don't need it. Anyways, digress. So I'm like, well, that sucks. And I check the windshield wipers. Nope, got windshield wipers. The windows go up and down. No big deal. And then step on the brake again. The engine bears down. And guess what? It quits. I'm like, well, shoot. That sucks. But hey, the dash comes back up and everything's working just fine. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, take the key out. I'm like, I'm swearing at the key. Pop the key in the ignition. It won't start. It's like, you know what? Screw this. I have roadside assistance, so I'm going to call roadside assistance. In the meantime, I'm like, do I need to cleanse the car? Do I sage the car? Normally I'm okay with automotive stuff just because my family insists that I'm a techno mage because I keep driving these cars that should have quit a long time ago and they just don't seem to ever die. Except for this one. Anyways, maybe it's time to get rid of the Equinox. Actually, it is. There's no maybe. It is. Anyways, call the insurance company, get the referral for roadside assistance, check with the fam. Hey, where should I take it? It's like, okay, so I called there. Do they have time? They might. Probably not. It'll be Monday. It's like, all right, cool. We'll bring her right over. Call roadside assistance. They show up 20 minutes later. In the meantime, I'm watching the clock, and it's getting closer and closer to my doctor visit. This is the follow-up from having COVID. To make sure I'm getting all better and stuff. Yeah. Call up. Hey, doc, gotta move the appointment to next week sometime. So we get it sorted out. No big, right? I'm thinking, okay, well, I had 4 other errands I wanted to run, but I'm like, these are not as priority as going to the doctor. So that's, the priority thing's taken care of. The other things are, okay. Start making calls trying to find a ride because I'm not gonna. Family can't help. Called a couple different people, and Julia is awesome, by the way. She came and rescued me. She met me at the mechanics, but getting ahead of myself. But Julia saved me. But truck gets there. Now, don't care who you are. If you can drive the truck, drive the truck. If you can be a tow truck driver, you've got the balls of steel to pick up a car on the side of the road when the traffic's being stupid around you. Knock yourself out. I don't care. I don't care who you are. I don't care your gender. I don't care as long as you can do your job. Well, the gal pulls up. She's driving a big flatbed truck. She can either tow me or she can pull me up on the truck, on the flatbed. I'm like, all right, no big deal. And hey, Jessica. And so here we are. We're just hanging out and trying to get the car into neutral, because it won't go into neutral because there's no power apparently going to the transmission. Don't know why. And so she calls somebody back at the office and she's like, hey, I need to connect. I need this app and I need you to look to see how to get into a 2007 Equinox, to hit the button to release the lock mechanism on the automatic gear shift. I'm like, oh, that'd be great. If I had known what, that'd be awesome. Well, nobody can find the information, so she YouTubes it. Let's just say an Equinox is not easy to get into. We're watching the video, and you have to disconnect and disassemble and discombobulate the entire console. So she's like, do you want me to do this? I said, no, don't worry about it. It's got to go to the mechanic anyway. Just drag it up on the truck. Right? No big deal, right? So she drags it on the truck. And in the meantime, I take my cane and I shuffle around. I'm getting up into the truck, and she gets in after everything's tied down, puts it into reverse so she can back up, because she's in a spot where she has to back up or drive into a wet, soggy yard. And a car pulls in right behind her, parks her in as she's backing up. So she stomps on the brake, and we're like, holy cow. And hi, Cat. So like, seriously? We both turn around, or we're both looking in the rearview mirror, and I take a picture of the rearview mirror, of course, as she's pulling the car on, because I thought it was funny. And so this car is right behind us. We can't go anywhere. So she does like this 20-point turn. She goes forward a little bit, trying to not go in the mud where she's going to get stuck. We don't want that. And she gets it around. I mean, she's being safe. She's doing what she needs to do to get out of the parking lot. And as soon as she gets out of the parking lot, the car that was behind us, well, apparently the person got out of the car, went in the post office, and there was somebody else driving. They pulled through to our spot and left. So they were just dropping someone off and leaving, but they had parked us in and we couldn't go anywhere. It's like, really? That's just rude, beyond rude. So yesterday gets a demerit for some rude people that just don't understand car etiquette or driving etiquette. Just saying. So we finally go, and the gal has to look up the shop because she's not understanding where the shop is. It's like, well, it's on such and such street. I can just keep going. I know where to go. I'll give you directions. I know where I'm going. Of course, she makes 3 wrong turns. And we get there, and apparently this poor mechanic, he's been so busy and no one's been picking up their cars. Parking lot is full. Finally, they move a hearse so that the truck driver can back in and unload my car. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I'm just going to go in and sit in the comfortable waiting room, right? Yes, the show is all about my day yesterday. It was a fantastic Friday, I'm telling you. And I'm just thinking, it's a good thing I'm pretty easygoing. No big deal. This is good. No big deal, right? Well, it takes the truck driver about half an hour to unload the car, because remember, the wheels don't roll. And so she has to reverse winch it, because there's a pulley system on the back of the truck. So she's using the winch in reverse to pull the car off, and she's jostling the flatbed at the same time, trying to get it off. Yeah, half hour. And finally it gets unloaded. Julia shows up to save me, because Julia is my superhero. She's a tiny superhero. This is pertinent because it's funny. And so we get in her car and we leave, and she's gonna just run me home, because at this point I'm like, nope. Jessica says, common sense isn't common. You're right, it's a superpower. It shouldn't be a superpower. Everybody gets a little dose, and it's supposed to grow as you age. It's like a seed of common sense is given to you at birth. You do have to nurture it a little bit, but some people just apparently don't. Anyway, so we get about 6 blocks from the mechanic, and a police officer pulls us over. And poor Julie, she's having just She's stressed out because she doesn't normally get pulled over. It's like, what's going on? And she's like, what do I do? What do I do? It's like, just put your hands on the steering wheel when the officer gets up here. You just roll down the window. No big deal. Just breathe. I don't panic because I just don't anymore. I just gotta roll with it. And I hadn't had any coffee yet. Or if I had, it wasn't enough. Anyways, so we the officer says, do you know why we pulled you over? And she says, no idea. And I was trying to think too, because we stopped at the stop sign. She used her turn signal. She used her brakes. She wasn't speeding. I mean, we weren't in a hurry. And so he goes, well, I pulled you over because your tabs are expired. And we're both like, really? The tabs are expired? That happens. He's like, yeah, they expired in August. She's like, oh, okay. And he goes, I can see it on my system. Can I see a copy of your license registration? So she's like, sure, but my wallet's in the back. And I said, officer, I'm going to grab the purse. So I hand her the purse, and he's like, all right, it's no big deal. We're just communicating because, you know, he's looking at us. And he looks at me. He goes, oh, so this car belongs to you? I'm like, nope, nope, it's all hers. Well, see, I'm 5'8". Julie is an adult. Just because she stopped growing sooner than everybody else doesn't mean that she's not an adult. It's okay. And so we get her stuff out of the glove box and give him the insurance. We can't find the registration. He's like, don't worry about it. I can see it on my system. It's like, all right, cool. And so she's going through her stuff. She finds her registration with the tabs on it. And we're like, oh, well, shoot. And he comes back. He goes, well, I'm not going to give you a ticket. Just you need to get this taken care of. And then he goes, and with the COVID, you know, it's just a pain in the butt to get everything taken care of these days. So it's easier just to do it online if you can. And I'm like, all right, cool. And she's like, oh, but hey, I've got these. He goes, yeah, those expired in August. And all I can think is like, Julie has done something that I have done. And that is drive around for a year and a half with out-of-date tabs on the plates. I've done this. It was fantastic. I didn't get a ticket either. But yeah. And yeah, just sometimes life happens, right? And I get it. It just happened for me that I was having all this stuff on the same day. It was great. And after the officer says, all right, well, you guys have a good day, and we get a couple blocks away, she's like, you owe me a coffee. I'm like, sure, I can do that. And on the way to the coffee shop, I'm like, well, okay. I had to make sure I have enough money in my wallet. And I'm looking, and I'm like, nope, I don't have enough money in my wallet to get the coffee. I'm like, check my account. I'm like, nope, not enough money in there. I'm like, So it's a good thing that, so I use Coinbase. If you have any questions about that, let me know. I'll happily send you a link for Coinbase. Coinbase is a place where you can do cryptocurrency. It's like a crypto wallet. I love it, personally. And so I go to and it comes with a little debit card. Because I'm just weird that way. So I got my little debit card, and I transferred some of my crypto around so I'd have some US dollars. And so we get to the coffee shop, we get coffees. And I did something that I don't normally do, and I got a pumpkin spice coffee with lots of chocolate. You know what? It tasted fantastic. It was great. So it was just one of those things. And so after we get the coffee, we head on out to the house, and no big deal. She drops me off. We hang out for just a little bit, pet the dog, pet the cats, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm just going to take a nap now, and until Mini-Me gets home, because she's in jiu-jitsu, and it was team pictures on Friday. So it's like, all right, so I'm going to take a nap till Mini-Me gets home, and when she does, we'll go do team pictures. I didn't get the nap. But we did get the pictures. I'll pick up when we come back from break, because I am going somewhere with this. It's not just me having a bad day. There's more. But wait, there's more. Anyways, be right back, kids. This is Paisley Wild, and this is The Spaces Between. Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we're off adventuring into the spaces between. So, the first half hour spent talking about my day yesterday. I've gotten to lunchtime. Took me half an hour to talk about, my day, my morning. Yeah, it was great. Fantastic. Overslept, car problems. Fantastic. By the way, yeah, it really is Monday before they can even look at the car. I'm really hoping it's something minor. Maybe it's a fuse, right? I can hope. Fuse? Fuse related? Sure, that causes electrical malfunctions, right? Yeah. Sure. So, here I am home. Julie has to take off because, she's an adult with other responsibilities, and rescuing me is not her. She was a volunteer type position. It wasn't a responsibility. So, anyway, she takes off, and I'm sitting in the recliner trying to, I'm on the laptop. It's like, great, I got to get some stuff done, so this is a good time before I fall asleep. Yeah, absolutely. So here I am. I'm trying to update the website, and of course I fell down the rabbit hole, and I'm working on the website for, the entire time. The enemy shows up, and it's like, all right, well, you can get your chores done, and then give you a snack, and then we got to go. And she's like, okay. And she gets her gi on. A gi, just so you guys know, is a uniform kind of specific to martial arts, often of a heavier weight material, so while they're training they can grab the fabric, like the collars or sleeves or pant legs or whatever, to help them do the different moves and get into the different positions they need to in sparring and that kind of thing. So because it's picture time, we want pretty pictures, right? And so I get her ready to go. We get in the car, or go to leave, but I can't leave, so I'm borrowing a friend's car. And it's a purple PT Cruiser. Actually, I like it. I personally like PT Cruisers. They're comfortable and easy to drive, easy to get into. But her rims are from North Idaho, where we use salt on the roads, of course, during the winter. And so the aluminum alloy wheels, the chrome veneer, well, the chrome's been peeling off, and of course, with brand new tires, peeling chrome, the seal doesn't always stick. car's got a flat tire. No big deal. I already had one car towed. Got an air compressor. No big deal. We can do this. So she puts air in the tire, and the day before she'd had wrist surgery. This is important. And so she's moving a little slow, feeling some pain, and that's okay. And get the air in the tire, no big, and go to leave, no big. We leave in plenty of time. We get to the dojo in plenty of time. We watch the class that was currently, on the mats, and so Mini-Me can see what the different moves are. Looked pretty interesting. And picture time. Pictures go easy. Everything's great. Mini-Me had wanted to do some sparring because it was open mat, but all the other kids were leaving, and it's like, no, we just got to take off. We got other things we need to do. It was Friday night. I was planning on doing a show last night and all that stuff. No big, right? No big. Yeah. So on the way home, it's like, I was going to call, I called Lucky because I was going to call her in the morning, but with the car, I got distracted. So I'm on the phone with her. Nope. And I get a phone call from the friend that I'd borrowed the car from. It's like, well, I'll be home in like 10. I'll be there in like 10, 15 minutes. No big deal. And I hung up. It's like I was trying to talk to Lucky, and I didn't want to be distracted. Well, then my phone kind of blows up. There's messages all over the place, and the person that owns the car called again. Like, hey, Lucky, I'll be right back. I got to check, see what's going on. And I click over, and guess what? It was a 911. She'd fallen down and tripped over a rug and had hurt herself, and she was in a lot of pain. So I hang up on her. I know that with my sciatic nerve being inflamed, I'm not someone who's going to be able to pick somebody else up. So call 911 and give them directions, and I'm headed on my way. And dispatch says, all right, just don't break any laws on your way and be safe, and we'll have people there just as soon as they can. I'm like, all right, cool. It's raining. Don't want to drive too fast, but I'm being safe. I wasn't going faster than traffic. I stuck with traffic. I was not speeding, I promise. But I still got there about a minute before the ambulance did. I go inside, put the dog downstairs behind the gate so the dog can't go talk to the EMT folks, and grab the cats and put them in another room. And Mini-Me is changing her clothes out of her gis, like, get on comfy clothes. And yep, poor gal, she's got some pain. And I go outside to meet the EMTs, and because I know I'm not the right person, there's the right people are going to be here. They're going to take care of everything, right? They come in and they're like, yeah, you're in some pain. They give her the good stuff. She's still in pain. And I'm looking as she's kind of laying there, and yeah, she's in pain because I'm pretty sure it's dislocated. She dislocated her hip when she tripped, which is a horrible thing. I personally never want to go through that, ever. Nope. No. Because it looks like it's horrendous. I've dislocated some fingers, and I've had some other things happen, and sprains, breaks, that kind of thing. Yeah, no dislocation. Thank you. I'll pass. And so EMTs, they come in. They're like, how are we gonna get her out? And I'm like, I don't know. You can. I don't know. First responders show up, so it's an ambulance and a little fire truck. So there's nice strapping manly men. So I know I'm not going to be involved in anything other than opening the door. And I'm good with this, right? So they can't bring the gurney in because a split level house, there's so many stairs. It's kind of stupid. But, it is what it is. But they had this carry bag. It was like a giant tarp with all these handles. It was about 4 foot by 7 foot, and it's just these nylon strappy handles. It was fantastic. Anyways, they got her onto that, and they picked it up, and they carried her out, kind of like she was in a hammock, and which is really cool. It was cool. And it's like, where do I gotta get me one of those because I have a bug out bag, and I have kind of a deluxe first aid kit. And you know what? If you're out hiking or hunting, sometimes you just need to make sure you have all the tools necessary. And it was a really lightweight thing. Just one more thing to add to your bug out bag. Seriously, it's not that big. It folds up flatter than a flat sheet for a twin. Serious. Anyways, so let the dog back out and grab some things and make sure Minnie Me's got her tablet so she's entertained. And we take off. We head into town, and I was like, "Oh, great! This is awesome! Horrible!" And here I'm feeling bad, because she's in a lot of pain. But I know she's got the right crew taking care of her, and they seem like really nice guys. They're all competent, doing their job, and nobody was nervous. So I'm like, okay, we're good. Get to the emergency room, and I ring the doorbell. It's like, hey, I'm here with so and so, and I need to come back in. And they're like, all right, hold on, because you can't just walk into the emergency room these days because of COVID, right? It's insane. And I'm out there, and the EMTs come out, and they're tidying up the ambulance and everything. And I asked them where they'd gotten the carry tote thing, the people tote, and I got information. So yeah, I want one. Anyways, so we're out for like 10 minutes, and Minnie Me's got to go potty. And I was like, well, we can go to the bar across the street, or we can go inside. I know there's a bathroom. It's right there. I can see the door. So I hit the doorbell again. I was like, hey, And finally someone comes to the door. They're like, oh, we didn't know you had a child with you because the child can't come in because we're full of COVID. I'm like, well, shoot. And I'm like, well, and Minnie Me's got to go potty really bad. So I'm like, well, shoot, who do I know? Well, you know what? Don and Brent were like 2 blocks away. And so I'm messaging, and it's like, hey, Don, Brent, need a favor. So walk over to where Don and Brent were at. Left Minnie Me with them so she could go to potty, and I knew she was with responsible people, so I was like, great. So I go back to the emergency room, and my friend, oh man, she was in so much pain, and I feel so bad because she was in a lot of pain. And if you've ever hurt yourself and you get to that point where just no more. I hurt. Well, she's got her wrist that she just had surgery on, so she's in pain there. Her hip's out. She's in pain there. She fell down, so it was, a bruise, and everything's sore. Everything's sore, kind of like a car accident the next day. Everything's sore. Everything hurts. And they tried to get x-rays, and of course they have to get x-rays at a certain angle to get a picture of everything that's going on. And it was just, that was horrible. And they come in, they give her some more medication to help with the pain, and they keep giving her more medication to help with the pain. Well, she's got some pain disorders, and so people with pain disorders, for those of you who don't know, often have quite the buildup or resistance to pain relievers. And since she has a pain disorder, she is accustomed to having a pretty strong narcotics in her system. Well, they have to keep giving her stuff because her body's like, you're funny, you think that's going to help? Not likely. And finally, they figure out what they're going to do. They come in so they can, because all it is just dislocated. Nothing's broken, nothing's damaged other than the bruising, and everything hurts. But it's just dislocated. And the doctor comes in and explains what he's going to do. And he's like 5'7". I'm like, oh, you're so short. Can you really reach? Didn't say it, but I was thinking it. And poor guy. And so they bring in anesthesia because they want to make sure she's got enough in her so she's not feeling pain and is totally relaxed, because that'll make resetting the hip that much easier. Got a couple nurses. Everybody gets going, and I'm like, and they go to grab the wrist that just had the surgery. I'm like, you can't grab that one. Stop. And so I'm in the mess too. So there's 5 of us at this point. And I'm holding down one shoulder and keeping her arm immobilized so the wrist that just had surgery isn't damaged again. And we're talking to her, trying to calm her down and everything. And they keep giving her more medication because it wasn't enough. Poor thing. And they go and they get another doctor to come in one that's like 4 inches taller. And he's like, "Oh, okay, well, let's do this." And they're trying. It took like 20 minutes to get this hip reset, and it was insane watching because they would have it almost, and you could see it was almost there, and they would pop back out of place. And we're all trying to do our best, right? And here I am. I'm not technically trained in medicine. I'm a farm kid, though. I've seen some things. I've been some places. And finally, it goes back in. They wrap her legs so that everything's kind of stilled. So if she jostles around, things don't pop out while she's in the wake-up mode from the drugs, which I totally get. And so here we are. We're just talking to her, and she was completely out of it and didn't even realize it was done because that's what the drugs are supposed to do. I mean, if you're going to get drugs, you might as well get the good ones, right? And so it takes a little bit for her to come out of the anesthesia and wake up completely, and some processing. But because she was damaged, they had to cut her clothes off. They don't give you scrubs to wear home anymore. No, they're paper clothes, like clothes made of paper, which to me is just insane. Insane. But okay. So here she is. We get her into paper clothes. We get her out into the car, which is an adventure. And you know what? I'm starving at this point, so I get Taco Bell because sometimes you just need a taco. And of course, they didn't do the order right. But at that point, I didn't care. Get home, get her tucked into bed, eat the taco, and I was like, holy cow, what a day. It's like 12:30 in the morning. Slept great. Slept in this morning. It was awesome. But I'm like, you know what? There's just some stuff. What a day. Insane day. Started on just an adventure with a whiz bang, and it ended with a whiz bang. So right now I'm in cleaning and cleansing mode. Because you know what? If it's going to be that kind of a day, I want to leave it in the past, and I don't want to drag any of that stuff forward. Yes, I'm talking about it, but it's because I'm coping. So today, remember, I still have the sciatic nerve is kind of grouchy, so I shuffle around a little bit. I have a hard time bending down to pick stuff up. I finish the laundry. I start working on the kitchen. I clean the kitchen. I make some dinner. Chicken ranch rice casserole with a lovely gratin type top with cheesy yumminess. It was fantastic. And drinking the coffee. Made some kimchi. I'm just kind of in a mood, in a groove. And then, while dinner is cooking, I go through and I smudge, smoke cleanse. Seriously, in my little abalone shell, I've got sage, I've got Palo Santo, and I've got frankincense. As I hit all the corners of the house, I go through. I'm thinking anything that is negative needs to go away. I'm done. We're done. We're done. And there's some smoke coming off of this. Not just a little bit. We are smoking it out because you know what? I want all the smoke in all the places. And let everything out. Everything out the bathroom window, because you know where waste goes? A lot of waste goes in the bathroom. Where does it go from there? It leaves the house. So yeah, bathroom window is the last one open. Got rid of all that stuff, let it go, ate some dinner, drinking my coffee. It's all good. And through all this, I had to take a couple breaks because you had to let the hip chill out, because when you're in pain, you're like, I don't want to do the things, but I'm in a groove, but trying to be responsible and take care of myself, right? So I'm talking to some friends online. And as I'm talking to them, I'm thinking back to the day and the week and the COVID and just all of the different things that have happened, and I'm just hit with total deja vu. 100% OMG deja vu, even to the words that I was typing out, and who was going to respond to the chats, and I was like, oh my goodness. So total deja vu. And for me, every time I've had deja vu, it has been an indicator of being right place, right time, right thing. I'm on track. I'm doing the thing that I'm supposed to be doing, whatever it is. And it's amazing to me that for some people they have deja vu and it's a horrible thing. But for me, it has always, always, always been just positive. Now, normally when I'm having deja vu, I'm experiencing something, a situation or a happenstance or something like that, that, you know, was at least neutral. Um, and there wasn't that many bad things. But this time, my deja vu had the COVID. It had illness. It wasn't COVID, in spelled out COVID-19. It was just significant illness that I was sharing about. And then it was, all these things that have happened in the last couple of weeks. In addition to COVID, we had to have a power line replaced because the power line that went to the well, the insulation came off. It shorted out, killed a tree. Had to cut the tree down. Seriously. The car issues. It's like, seriously? One more thing? So yeah, I'm ready for October to be over. So yeah, total deja vu. And here, all these bad things are happening, and I get hit with the deja vu. And along with that feeling, that sensation of, OMG, I had to do this again. It was, wow, I'm in exactly the right place, doing the right thing at the right time. This is my signpost that I'm doing everything right. So, even though it was just an insane week, and I'm done, and I'm so sorry I wasn't here last night, because I wanted to be. It was my plan. It was my plan. It ended up, I was exactly where I needed to be, to do the thing that I needed to do. And, there's a lot of people who feel that deja vu is just, your random brain association. You dream something, or you've experienced something a couple times, or whatever. If you've seen any of the Matrix movies, you know that deja vu is the Matrix resetting. So did it, some people have deja vu as a part of seizures or hallucinations or some other things that they have going on, medically related. But for me, deja vu has always been a sign. 100% just a sign that I'm on the right path, doing the things I need to do, and I need to pay attention to what's coming up, because there's something coming up. I don't know what it is. And even though a lot of people out there feel that deja vu is just happenstance, many feel that deja vu is a sign. Not just the pagans, but the Abrahamic faiths as well. The psychologists know that it's a thing. They generally consider it an illusion of memories rather than, something really, really happening. I think Merriam-Webster defines deja vu as, let me see, I wrote it down. So the illusion of remembering scenes and events when experienced for the first time, and feeling that one has seen or heard something before, and something overly unpleasant or familiar. Yeah, sure. I would totally say it was a deja vu and totally imaginary or something like that, but not when I know exactly what the people I'm talking to are going to say in response to something I'm going to say. It was like everything was planned out. It was just bizarre. So deja vu. I'm in the right place. I don't know what's happening next week, other than the veil is thinning. And so with the thinning of the veil, it's like, what's going to happen? What do I need to pay attention to? So my advice to all of you and myself for the next couple of weeks is absolutely 100% journal more. That's kind of what I'm doing here often when I'm talking to y'all on through the radio waves and the YouTube, is I am giving myself an audio and video journal of the things I'm experiencing and the things I do and the things I encounter on my pagan path. And so this one, yeah, I had the deja vu. And I don't fear it. And so if you guys fear it, let me know in the chat, what causes it to give you concern. Or if you don't feel like doing it in the chat or giving a call, because the phone lines are open. I forgot to tell you that earlier. That number is 213-233-3998. You can always call, or you can always send me the email at wildepaisley@gmail.com. wildepaisley@gmail.com. Jessica says in the chat room that hopefully the negative energy of the past 2 years is ending. No flippin' doubt. Because, yeah, it's been, you know, stop, time out. When the 20s were coming up, the 2020s is like, woohoo, it's the 100-year anniversary of the Roaring 20s, where people dressed with class and style, the music was on points, the cars were beautiful, and just there's a lot happening. It's like, whoo, maybe we'll have a resurgence of classy style and just, I had hopes. I had hopes. These are not the Roaring 20s. I don't know what we will end up calling these because, wow, the COVID 20s, not so much. I don't know. I don't know what we need to call them. We need to pick a name. But they are just definitely, wow. That's just all there is to it. Just wow. Personally, the 20s have been really good, honestly. My show's doing great. I wrote a book. I've got another book in the works. Actually, I have 2 books in the works. Mini-me's is healthy and growing. The grandkids are healthy and growing. My kids are awesome. They're doing great. I feel like an adult that has her life in order for the most part. Bills are managed. Debt is worked. My student loans are under control even. For those of you who don't understand, student loans are, if you can get through college without a student loan, I highly recommend it. If that means you're working an extra job or whatever it requires, try to do it. Because student loans will be the bane of your existence for the rest of your life. So that's just an adult telling everybody out there, don't do the student loans if you can keep them from it. It made sense when I did it, but in retrospect, I wish I had found another way. I really, truly do. Because, yeah, millstone around the neck, without a doubt. But you know what? Right now, my student loans are under control. Yeah. I feel like a functioning adult for the most part. Maybe not in October this year, but for the most part, a functioning adult. So the 20s have been pretty okay. Other than looking at our political system here in the U.S., like, OMG? Seriously? Y'all need to go back to kindergarten and learn how to cooperate as people. Forget the politics. Learn how to be people again, instead of whatever y'all are. The COVID nonsense? I didn't see that one coming. I'm not a psychic. Didn't see it coming. But, wow, there's some insanity out there we need to get under control. The deja vu, it's been a while since I had a spot of it, so that tells me I'm on track. My signpost is there saying I'm doing the right thing at the right time. But we don't know what the future holds. So, on that note, it's top of the hour. When we come back, we're going to do some singing bowl because we need more singing bowl in the world. And then I'm going to talk about the cleansing that I did, some of the stuff that I used to cleanse the house, and go from there. If you have questions, please let me know, and we'll see you after the break. Hello. Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between. So over break, Jess goes, you know what? Maybe you should wave your magic wand and make it all go away. If I thought my selenite wand was big enough, I would totally, 100% be on board with that. Because, yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to leave 2021 behind. I know October's almost over, 2021 is almost gone, but you can move on. Yeah. So, on that note, we need some singing bowl. We just do. Maybe a little more. Yeah. Singing bowl. Yes. Jess also says, let 2022 be a year of breakthroughs. Yes. 2022 is a good number. Some good repetition there. 2's a prime number. Yeah, I can get behind 2022 being a good year. Absolutely, without a doubt. It needs to. Because we all say so. Without a doubt, we say so. So, before the break, I mentioned that I've been doing some cleaning and cleansing. We're going to do, I'll probably do a couple of different sets of cleansing just because, you know what? I think we need all the help we can get. There's, that energy, whether, I don't think it was negative energy. I really don't. I don't feel like I've been attached by negative energy. Chaotic energy. That is something else, definitely. 100%, I am sure that I've gotten the dose of. Because, yeah, it's, yeah. Oh, can't spell. Hold on. Yeah, yep. Chaos. Yeah, some chaos energy. Now, I don't normally do chaos magic. It's not normally my thing. I'm a Libra, so I'm generally more into order. I don't really feel there's bad energy, good energy, black magic, white magic. To me, that's nothing. It's just magic. So maybe it could be considered chaos magic, I suppose, even though I don't normally think of it that way. It's just chaos is kind of like potential. Yeah. Yeah, chaos is more potential because anything can come out of chaos. You don't know what's going to happen because it's chaos, right? It's the what ifs, the maybes, the why is it, the what fors, and chaos, witches are just think Loki. Loki is 100% chaos, but he is also something else. We've talked about Loki in the past. I'll probably talk about Loki again, but chaos is more of an attitude, if you will. It's promoting experimentation. It's more of a philosophy. It totally disregards chaos or dogmatic rules that are associated with magic in general. Being someone who feels that magic is magic, maybe I am more chaotic than I thought. I don't know. I'm gonna have to meditate on that. A lot of chaos magicians or witches will say nothing is true, everything is permitted, because you can do just about anything. And so it allows you to test different techniques and figure things out for yourself. Does it work? Does it not work? and often is a very creative type of magic, and it's crafting. It's wow. The more I talk about it, the more I'm like, oh, really? All right. So if we define chaos, it's an extreme confusion and disorder, because that's what most people associate with chaos, and chaos is bad because confusion and disorder. It's also considered the formless and disordered state of matter before the creation of the cosmos. Well, yeah. In Greek mythology, chaos is the most ancient of gods, the personification of the infinity of space preceding creation of the universe. So chaos was there first, which is interesting. In physics, chaos is a dynamical system that is extremely sensitive to its initial conditions. Jazz Drama is doing very, very good. She is sleeping in her fuzzy basket because she's cold and she's fat and doesn't want to go outside. She was talking on the show last weekend. I'm not sure. I see Merlin. Merlin's over here, but I think Drama is pouting and is in the other bed now. She'll probably be on the air next weekend. So, chaos magic is a phrase that's been attributed to Peter Carroll. If you've read any of his works, he was very into mathematics and physics. He's into the non-linear and the mathematical definition of chaos. And let's see, his book, if you're into that kind of thing, is Liber Null. Liber Null, Liber, Liber, and Null is Null, and then also the Psychonaut, Psychonaut. So those are his books. But he has a tendency to synchronize some of the magic systems that are both in the Eastern and Western ceremonial magic, and he's was more into Taoism, I suppose, just because it was more undefined and complete. It existed before heaven and earth, and it's formless. And so, I don't know. Tzu said that, but in 1972. So yeah, to me, I'm really gonna have to look into chaos a little bit more, just because that was yesterday. Yesterday was the definition of chaos. Without being chaotic, because everything, if you look at any one of the things that happened in the last 36 hours, you're like, oh, well, that made sense. Oh, it sucked, but it made sense. There's logical things, each little island of thing that happened. It was just OMG-ness. But it's when you put them all together, you're like, holy buckets, Batman. What just happened? So yeah, it was chaos. So Taoism, yes, is definitely more on the chaos side. And most chaos magicians have an ability to be flexible in their thought processes and the way their beliefs are structured and their paradigms. They're flexible. They're not rigid. They're less prone to dogma, if you will. And they can often change their perspective on the world and see their reality from an entirely different point of view. So not just like in the moment right now, but in the moment from someone else's point of view, or even the moment that's going to happen from a different point of view altogether. So, and it's it's really, really interesting. Chaos magic generally demands that practitioners be able to switch between beliefs about themselves, others, their own religious beliefs, other people's religious beliefs, and to the average chaos witch or magician, beliefs are choices, and belief is the tool that powers the magic. And it's often kind of hard to do, because I suppose chaos magicians often have to constantly decondition their minds to remove old thought patterns and beliefs to put in new ones and new structure. And that's hard. It takes a lot of discipline, emotional discipline, mental discipline, sometimes physical discipline, and to do that, you have to be really dedicated to your craft and your ability to maintain that chaos mentality and not fall into the dogma of a specific belief. And so, yeah, lots of practice. And the idea around chaos magic is there's no absolute right way or absolute truth. Often the practitioner is left with a litmus test, if you will, of real world results to defend the rituals that they do. And their rituals probably won't resemble what everybody else is doing, because it's going to be their own thing. It's going to be their own jam, if you will. There may be some elements that are similar to other people's, but it's going to be their own ritual, their own techniques, and their own belief set. So that, because it is their own, and it's, you have to be really practiced at it, it makes chaos magic in practice a very difficult, however grounded and demanding magical path. There's a book called Hands-on Chaos Magic that's going to be it's on my to-do list to read, by Andrea Vitamus. And so it's the little snippet here on chaos magic, or this particular book, is this irreverent guide to chaos magic emphasizes experimentation and finding out what works best for you. Andrea Vitamus presents a revolutionary hands-on course of study for the average Jane or Joe. Vitamus banishes the severe tone of other esoteric orders, offering accessible and a practical approach that makes it easier to perform successful chaos magic that is uniquely their own. So, yeah. It's on my to-do list to read. It was written in 2009. It's published by Llewellyn. If you have a chance to read it, let me know. I want to know what you think of it. So, but yeah, it's definitely on my list. And when it comes to chaos magic, a lot of the thoughts around it, the practices, some of the ideas of chaos magic have filtered down and into the occult and pagan community, and so I generally consider myself an intuitive witch, meaning I pull things from different places because it makes sense, but in a way that's also very chaotic, because I don't feel that the words of a ritual or the different steps of a ritual are the most important part. I feel it's the intent, personally. And that intent is the most important aspect of a ritual. And because of that, I suppose it is kind of a direct consequence of chaos magic theory, which, is really, really interesting. So there's another book. It's called Walking the Twilight Path by Michelle Ballinger. That is also on my list to read. Llewellyn has quite a few different books that are really fantastic, by the way. If you ever want to go reading occult books, Llewellyn is the publisher. Well, hello, Naysay. Yes, more giggles today, Naysay, than yesterday. So, most people, when it comes to chaos magic, are hung up on the word chaos itself, just because there's so many negative things associated with chaos. Oh, it was just a chaotic day. It was a crazy day. It was an insane day. There's so much going on, and they're overwhelmed. And so, in a way, we need to, for chaos magic to really be more widely accepted, we almost need to rebrand the word chaos, if you will. Because in reality, most of those serious witches that do practice chaos magic find it just extraordinarily innovative and revolutionary and grounded. And the practitioners themselves often continue to change and transform and to learn new things about themselves. They don't fall into that dogma. And so their results get better, they're more in touch with their spiritual practices, and they have that that mental flexibility to roll with both the Abrahamic traditions and understanding them and the whys, and a lot of the more ritualistic and Wiccan beliefs and the whys, and they get it. They're able to roll with it. Now, unfortunately, a lot of that negativity that's associated with chaos magic is because it seems like, oh, they're only working with the darker powers and the darker paradigms and such. But no, it's just part of the magic. It's not the entirety of it. So, like I said, we need to rebrand chaos, if you will, because it's not bad. It's just one other type of magic. And I think it's important for us to remember that. Because chaos magic is not specifically dark, it's not specifically light, it's just magic. And a lot of that assumption of what chaos magic is due to the way people act and do things online, unfortunately. Whether it's TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or whatever, it just is. So, in a way, yeah, chaos magic just is magic. You don't have to brand it chaos. It's magic. And it does have its own rules. The first one is you have to be flexible. You have to roll with it. And you may have to figure out your own techniques, your own rules, your own structure, if you will, because there's going to be a few adventures when it comes to playing with chaos energy. It ebbs and flows. It can change your life, just like yesterday was kind of life-changing. Chaos magic could be very life-changing. And so, before you brand any type of magic as good or bad or negative or positive or white, black, gray, purple, or polka dot, what is the intent of the magic instead? What is the purpose? What's the goal? What are you trying to accomplish? And I think for me, there will be some additional studying into chaos magic because some of that seems to be, it's kind of resounding with me this evening. I've researched it before, I've looked into it before, but yeah, it's kind of feeling pretty familiar. Suddenly, all of a sudden, yeah. Definitely gonna have to think about that. Gonna have to ponder a bit. And something else for the journal. So yeah, remember, for me, magic is magic. There's no black, there's no white. It's just magic. So, in learning a little bit more about chaos magic, it may be the thing that I'm supposed to be paying attention to. I don't know. We'll find out as I do some research. So, but speaking of yesterday, and all that insanity that ensued, the chaos, you know what? There are times when it's good to, cleanse your home of some of that energy that it just seems attached to you, whether it's negative or chaotic, or if you're just stuck in a rut. And there's some signs, yeah. Maybe you're having a bad day, or you're just moody, or just feeling blah. Often, that's when you need to be cleansing the energy. Giving it a recharge, if you will. Sometimes it means opening the windows and letting the sunlight in. Simple things. If you've been sick, which we have been, the chaos of yesterday, excuse me. So along with the stress of feeling ill, often that being ill carries a lot of negative energy into the space around you, and so maybe you've had a sinus infection, or you've been snotty and you've got dirty Kleenexes all over. Ew, by the way. I'm guilty of it sometimes, but ew. Just get it cleaned up, pick it up. Amazing how much better you feel when you get something like that done. Or take out the garbage, or sweep and vacuum. I don't know. Sweeping and vacuuming to me just makes the house feel brighter, or your home feel brighter. If you're physically sick, like you had a tummy bug, you know, I tend to repurpose ice cream buckets a lot. So if there's extra ice cream buckets laying around, maybe it's time to bleach those babies, which I do. So yeah, Jess, you're absolutely right. Need to make order out of chaos. Another time when it's really important to cleanse that energy is after you've gone through a breakup of some sort, or a change, significant change, like changing your job, changing your career, changing your relationship of some sort, whether it's friendship or romantic, or a loss. You know, if you've lost something, whether a family member or a pet, or you know, a friend or whatever, if you've lost something, you know, that's a really good time also to do some cleansing, to get rid of that negativity, or that down feeling that we often get. If you get into an argument, whether it's with a child or your significant other or your friend or family member, maybe you said some things, maybe they said some things, maybe, you know, it was pretty brutal, and it's just, now the disagreement's over and you're like, what do? You know, open the window, clear the air, do some smoke, like sage smoke or something. Do it, because it'll help with that transition from the argument to argument. Major life transitions. It could be a new job, partnership, new pets, new family members, moving, you know, anytime or new office, that kind of thing. Anytime you're clearing out the old, whatever it is, it gives you space, both physically and energetically, for the new energy that's coming in. So, yeah, prepare the space. And yeah, are you feeling stuck? Well, maybe you need to do something a little different. Yeah, open the curtains. Maybe you need to clean or replace the filter on your furnace. You know, whatever it is that you need to improve your life, to help make progress. Remember, progress isn't always in leaps and bounds. Sometimes it's microscopic. I had COVID. That first day when I was turning around and starting to get better, I didn't feel like I was getting better. I felt like I was getting sicker, and the doctor had warned me about that. But I was also told that the next day I'd feel significantly better. So, that first day on the turnaround, microscopic, minuscule improvements, little bitty ones. If you look at each individual little thing, it's just a little thing. But when you look at them all together, you're like, wow, that wasn't a little thing. It was a big thing. I'm so much better now. Yes. So yes, if you're feeling stuck, you want to improve your life, you haven't been making any progress, you know, is there something about your house that's keeping you stuck? Maybe you need to clean the bathroom. That'll help you feel better. Go through your dishes. Do you have any cracked or broken ones? Get rid of them. Look in your silverware drawer. Are you missing half your spoons because for some reason spoons walk away? Probably with socks, I'm just saying. Replace your silverware. Something small, something little. It'll help you move forward. For me, getting new pots and pans, oh my gosh, that's an awesome day. I love that. And you can just never do that. Jess says, how about a 360 for 2020? Brand new positive energy. Yeah. I'm telling you, 2022 needs to be different. It needs to be positive, yes. So, yeah, feeling stuck. And it could be, you know, maybe you need to just clean out the garbage in your car. I would love to clean out the garbage in my car, except for right now it's sitting at the mechanics and I can't. So, when it comes home, I'll get to clean out the garbage in the car because Mini-Me has a hard time remembering to throw away the garbage. And there's a lot of garbage in the back seat. I don't know where it all came from. I don't think it's all from me. pretty sure it's mostly from her. But I'll have to look, because if it is, it's not all her fault. Because I'm the parent, right? Sad. So, when we come back, I'm going to talk about some of the things I used when I did the smoke cleansing, and some other ways to remove that negative energy. So, off to break. We'll be right back. Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between. Jess and I are talking about Mini Me after or during the break, and yeah, it's like a tornado went off in there, or bomb, toddler bomb. I don't know how you want to put that, but yeah, it's insane, and I can go through there. I can spend all day cleaning that room, and it takes her about 5 minutes to undo it. Trying to get her to clean her room, Yeah, that's an all-day process. Oh my stars, is it ever an all-day process? Because it's not that she doesn't understand what clean means. It's just not as how it applies to her, I guess. Because she just doesn't get it. She tries. She really does. And she does a pretty good job. It just isn't as important for her to have a clean room as it is for mom to have her have a clean room. Hey, Suzanne. So, yeah, we're working on it. And it's not all bad, and it is a work in progress. And she's a good kid. She tries. She does. She tries hard. It's just she's still learning, and I have to be patient with that. That's all. Yes, different perspective. Absolutely, Naysay. Go around the sun as many times as you need to get that different perspective. Because sometimes we really, 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 really need that different perspective. And yeah, Mini Me is just really, she's entertaining. She's really a good kid. But sometimes we trash explosion. Yes, maybe that's what she should be for Halloween. Trash panda. No, I shouldn't. But tempting, so very tempting. Yeah, I just don't get it. It's like, how do walk by? She's like, oh yeah, my room's clean enough. You can vacuum it. I walk by. It's like, it's not clean because you just shoved everything under your bed. That's not the same. Deep cleansing breath. Speaking of cleansing, so when I did the cleansing earlier today, and I'll be doing this again, set my intention prior. Started in one room, worked my way through that level, went to the next level, worked my way through that level, went to the next level, worked my way through that level, and ended in a room with the window open to let all of that out. And the intention I set was basically, I want whatever's negative and dragging me down and being obnoxious to just let go and move on. We don't need that right now. We need growth. We need good energy. We need good things. So, one of the herbs I used is Palo Santo. Palo Santo is something that we've all heard of before. I've mentioned it before. And Palo Santo specifically is it's from a tree that's native to Peru, Ecuador, and other South American countries. It is one of those things that you need to make sure is ethically sourced because it's often harvested illegally or unethically. Naysay says, simple solution, take it away. If there's nothing there to make a mess of, there's nothing to pick up. Yes, I have cleaned with garbage bags. I'm not afraid to. I get rid of things, yes. So basically, if it doesn't get cleaned tomorrow, Mom will take care of it on Monday, and it will be clean. So, yeah. So, Palo Santo. Latin name is Bursera graveolens. And Palo Santo means holy wood. It's Spanish, Palo Santo. It grows in drier tropical forests and is very, very fragrant. Produces a fragrant rosin, and the woods are very fragrant. So, for thousands of years, the wood, rosin, and oils have been used for medicinal purposes. Often it's used to treat pain and stress. And the smoke is said to clear negative energy. So they haven't done a lot of scientific tests on Palo Santo yet. But it is something that is used. Palo Santo tree is available sticks, chips, or a powder. The powder can be burned like rosin. It usually comes with the branch of the tree, so it's 100% wood. When it's ethically sourced, those branches, they grow back. It's when they cut down the tree completely that's bad. The rosin is very, very aromatic. They can be used separately. And then the essential oil is derived from both the wood and the fruit. So, Palo Santo is associated with quite a few different medicinal and therapeutic benefits. supposedly repels mosquitoes, ants, termites, and flies. So I haven't seen this happen yet, but I am willing to try. One of the oils within Palo Santo is limonene. Limonene is a substance with insecticide properties, so it is considered a natural insecticide. But I haven't actually used it. I may have to. Also, the essential oils supposed to have some pain relief properties, like arthritis, headaches, and throat pain. So, in theory, if you have a headache, burning a little bit of Palo Santo should help you. If you have the essential oil that's sourced appropriately, it may help with, if you have it in a lotion or something, or a salve. You might be able to rub it on your skin like a lotion, because it does have some analgesic or pain relieving and anti-inflammatory properties from that limonene. 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 So it can provide relief by inhibiting certain neural pathways. We've only tested it on animals, we haven't tested it on people, so it's still theoretical. We'll see. Palo Santo is also very, very relaxing to quite a few people, so it's often used to reduce stress. It's also considered purifying, cleansing, both physically and mentally. So limonene in animal studies, of course, in the early teens, 20 teens, animals showed reduced stress and anxiety when inhaling the aroma from the limonene. So, with the oil, aromatherapy. So, and it may be atomized or just, out in the air somewhere, however they put it out. People will often use it during yoga, meditation, that kind of thing. The oil can also be applied directly to your skin, just as long as it's sourced correctly. It does burn. The oil burns, so does the wood. And as it burns, it releases a very aromatic smoke into the air. The Palo Santo chips and powder are used the same way. Hey Dee, how's it going? And then with rosin is also used as an incense. It's heated on or placed on a heated charcoal disc in a rosin burner, which releases the rosin's aromas. I've used that. So I used the stick today. So the tree isn't technically endangered, and it is currently in a stable population for the trees. You do need to make sure you're getting your Palo Santo ethically and sustainably sourced. It's just because you want to make sure you're getting a quality product from a reputable source. That's all. For a long time, it was harvested by deforestation, and since people have figured out that deforestation is bad for the environment, they've been changing how they do harvest it. So yeah. It's a traditional medicine for pain and inflammation and such, and also stress and anxiety. So I used it because it's cleansing, and I wanted it. So I like Palo Santo. To me, it smells good, and I have zero problems using Palo Santo. It just, I like it, so I used it. So there, and really good smoke from it, and it smelled good. So I'll probably do that again. But yeah, that cleansing and such. Yeah, definitely needed to do that today. The house just felt lighter, even though I didn't really expect it to, but it did after doing the smoke, even though it smelled smoky in here. I got the studio too, because needed to do all the things. Yeah, that's all. I also used frankincense, which Palo Santo. So frankincense is another one of those really, really old magical rosins that's mentioned in the Bible. It's been traded in North Africa and the Arab world for 5,000 years. It was used a lot. So the rosin's harvested from a family of trees. And let's see. Bum, bum, bum. It's used in Ayurvedic medicine also. So in Sanskrit, it's dupe, D-H-O-O-P, dupe. So if you're using dupe cones, you're using frankincense. So you know your words. So in modern magical traditions, frankincense is often used as a purifier. So used the Palo Santo because it's holy wood, cleansing. Use the frankincense because it's a purifier. When I use the rosin, let's see. The vibrational energies of frankincense are considered very, very powerful. And often frankincense is used as an enhancer when used with other essential oils or other herbs to help with that, give it a magical boost, if you will. So if you're doing energy work or meditation or chakra exercises, often frankincense will be burned to help cleanse you and then open that third eye. In some belief systems and traditions, frankincense is associated with good fortune in business. In theory, you could carry a few bits of rosin in your pocket when you go to a business meeting or an interview. With my luck, I would forget it was in there and go through the wash. Yeah. In some other traditions, frankincense is used to anoint petitions or petitioners, and it just gives it that boost. Some people do have a negative reaction to frankincense, especially if they have sensitive skin. So just be aware if you're using the essential oils, and make sure you're using a very good and high quality base oil if you're using it for topically on your skin and such. Frankincense, I love the smell of frankincense personally, and so yeah, I used it to help boost the Palo Santo and the sage, because you know what? I just felt like we needed all the things, and I'll probably continue doing all the things. Because yes, all the things. Sometimes you just need all the things, right? So with sage, sage is huge. Sage has been used in cleansing and rituals for millennia. It's not just within the Native Americans here within the U.S., the first peoples here. It's been all around the world using other rituals. They're all unique. They all have different rituals. And just be aware if you're using a specific sage burning ritual, that you are not appropriating someone else's culture. It's one of the reasons why I make it my own ritual. I do my own thing. So sage, also known as very antimicrobial, means it helps with bacteria, viruses, and fungal infections. So basically, burning sage helps get rid of COVID, because COVID is a virus. Antimicrobial, antivirus, yes, sage is good. So they've done studies. I can say this out loud. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express, anything like that. But yeah, really need to pay attention to that sage. Yeah, burn it. So some other conditions that sage can help, because it's not just bugs and bacteria that can show up in the air. Sage can also it releases negative ions, which neutralizes those positive ions. Positive ions are things like pet dander, pollution, dust, mold. So if you're now that I'm sitting here and I burned all this stuff, I have allergies this time of year anyways. That's why COVID was so frustrating. I thought the different story, different day. And normally I'm kind of a snot-nosed brat by this time at night, if I don't take something for my allergies. And after burning all that sage, I'm not a snot-nosed brat. I'm going to have to remember that. it's amazing the things we forget to do daily because it's like, oh yeah, I forgot all about that. That's the thing I need to do because it's just so easy. It's the easy things we forget. So sage, burn the sage. Um, so burning sage can help with asthma, allergies, bronchitis, other respiratory issues. Um, Make sure you're not actually breathing the smoke. It's burn the sage in a room and let the smoke clear before you go in there. Sage is used to help enhance your intuition and connect you to the spiritual realm. So a lot of healers in traditional cultures burn sage to help reach that healing state, or to solve or reflect upon spiritual dilemmas. Again, they've done some studies, and salvia sages and white prairie sage contain thujone, depending on how you pronounce it, thujone, thujone, and it is a terpene compound. And similar, it will show up in artemisia, absinthium, like absinthe, or wormwood, which is a source of medicine, drunkenness, and psychedelic experiences for centuries. So, but wormwood has been used to treat parasites, cancer, stomach issues, that kind of thing. So, yeah, it's a ketone. So, thujone is a mild psychoactive, and is often used and found in many plants, and used. Those plants are often used in cultural, spiritual rituals to help enhance intuition. Smoke cleansing with sage can be used as a ritual tool to get rid of yourself, or to rid yourself or your space of negativity, like trauma, bad experiences, negative energies. Just help disconnect that stuff from you. It can also cleanse or empower specific objects. So, say selenite, for instance, you really shouldn't wash it. I mean, you give it a quick rinse, then you need to dry it off, kind of a thing. But it's one of those stones that really shouldn't encounter a lot of water. So to cleanse it, you need to look at some other ways to cleanse it. Sage smoke is one of those things. So a lot of those things you cannot get wet. Sage smoke might be the thing to do. And so think about some of those antiques you might have gotten from family members, like, oh, this thing, whatever this is like, oh, awesome. But it was owned by this other family member that's kind of a douche canoe, and I don't know. Cleanse it with the sage smoke instead of washing it, because some things just shouldn't be washed. Let's see. Because that sage smoke is, you're doing something to help yourself, it can help banish that negativity. It helps with anxiety, depression, mood disorders, that kind of thing. Partly because you're doing something to help yourself, and partly the smoke itself is helping, because it can help lift your mood, and it's just a really good ally against stress. So, especially white sage. It's got quite a few different compounds within it that activate certain receptors in the brain that help elevate mood levels, reduce stress, and alleviate pain. So, yeah. It can also help you sleep. Just think about it. If your mood is mellowed, your stress is mellowed, your pain is mellowed, you're probably gonna sleep better. So, generally, when you're doing stuff like this, cleansing and such, they recommend white sage rather than the stuff you might find in your garden. Garden sage is called Salvia officinalis. So just make sure you're using the right stuff. Sometimes the garden sage, the stuff you use to cook with, can burn like white sage to improve sleep and soothe anxiety. Just be aware that you're using the right thing. Ethically source it. If you are out hiking and you find sage while you're hiking, don't pick it all, A. B, make sure you're actually picking stuff that is legal to pick, because there are some places where that stuff is not legal. So pay attention. Some studies, because people are frustrated with like dementia and Alzheimer's, and trying to help the folks who are suffering from those particular afflictions. They've noticed that burning some sage can help cognition and your mental acuity. So they're doing reviews and studies. Everything got interrupted by COVID, but sage is a big deal. It can help with your energy levels, because you're suddenly not as focused on the stuff that's going wrong and all the negativity and the pain. and the bad energy and stuff. And once you let go of all that and you can let go of it, I gotta tell you, you feel fresh, you feel new, you feel positive, you feel energized. We like being energized. We want that. Sage has just a really great fragrance to it as well. So I like smelling it. I like burning sage. So do it. Just pay attention. Don't set anything on fire. You're going to want something regardless of what you're burning, whether it's sage or Palo Santo or frankincense or cobalt or anything else. You want to make sure that if you're burning it in something that is not going to catch fire. So stone, tile, metal, that kind of thing. You're not going to want to burn sage in or on a paper plate because that would be bad, or in a plastic bowl. You want it to be non-flammable. You can burn the sage, or you can use a sage spray. You can burn the frankincense, or you can use an essential oil. Palo Santo, you can use the essential oil, or you can burn the sticks. Whatever it is that's going to work best for you. Maybe you need a candle. Maybe you need a briquette. You can find either of those at pretty much any store. The fancy briquettes, you can find those at a lot of your esoteric shops, or shops that sell supplies for hookahs, because it's the same briquette that is used in a hookah. Mm-hmm. If you're using any of these things, you're going to burn them to clear negative energy. You want to make sure you have a way for that negative energy to leave. I tend to cleanse going and moving up the stairs rather than down. Maybe you need to move down the stairs rather than up. Whatever works best for you specifically. That's what you should do. That's just me. My intuition says do what's working best for you. You want to let the negativity out, you want the smoke out. Maybe that's why I go upstairs instead of down. Because smoke rises. I'd rather have the smoke go up the stairs and leave rather than come down the stairs. If that makes sense. Set your intention before you start. If you have a mantra you want to say, or a prayer or something. When I did it today, what I say? I said, please let us release the stuff that is holding us back or caused the insanity from yesterday. Let us move forward clean and uplifted. And that's all. It doesn't have to be a big deal. It doesn't have to be fancy and bells and whistles and drama. It should just be, easy to do. It should be straightforward. It should be comfortable, if you will. It shouldn't cause you anxiety. But the only time I've ever had anxiety when it comes to cleansing a space was a space that had a negative entity associated with it that needed to be kind of nudged, if you will, out the door. So yeah, light your briquette, or if you have a sage stick or your incense or whatever, you light it. Make sure it's in a safe spot, and you don't necessarily want an open flame as you're walking around. So pay attention. But you want a good supply of smoke. Walk around your space. I guide the smoke into the corners, and sometimes it's blind corners, or making sure it's just getting into the spaces. Some people give extra attention in corners, mirrors, foyers, the in-between spaces, foyers, hallways, doorways, that kind of thing. Some people are really focused on technology, phones, laptops, phones, that kind of thing. So just biggest thing, be safe. Be safe. And make sure you're not dropping embers or anything onto the ground, because you want to, if they do, you want to make sure they get put out. And don't, if you are burning incense or sage, don't leave it unattended. Kind of like lighting a candle and putting it in the middle of your coffee table. Make sure it's on a non-flammable surface. We don't want you to set your house on fire. That's not what you're there for. That's not how you get rid of the negative energy. You don't set your house on fire. Trust me on this one. It kind of works reverse. So, and then when you're done, make sure you put your sage out, or your whatever it is you're burning. You know, let it go out and be safe. So yeah, don't use water to extinguish things because you're using oils. But yeah, be safe, guys. So, cleanse. Research your chaos magic. We'll see you next week. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meeting.